Hello and welcome to a special breakdown report with 9 cup finals left to play. Today we're going to be looking at statistics and what they might tell us about the makeup of this Arsenal team. What are the strengths? Which combinations work the best and where do the weaknesses lie? Let's take a look at the numbers. It's been a mixed bag from Arsenal defensively this season. At times the rearguarders look pretty solid. On other occasions it's looked worryingly fragile. Now, while not everything rests on the shoulders of those 2 centre-backs, I do feel that the partnership at the heart of Arsenal's defence is vitally important, and Arsene Wenger has toyed with 3 different combinations this season. So let's take a look at which is the best on paper. Well, with so few games to judge them by, these numbers are perhaps a little bit harsh on Thomas Vermaelen and Laurent Koscielny's partnership, but statistically speaking, you have to say in terms of points won and goals conceded, theirs is the least successful. Maybe the calming influence and the physical presence of Per Mertesacker has been missed when he hasn't been available. The manager's most favoured duo is the German alongside captain Thomas Vermaelen, and overall you have to say that their record is pretty respectable, but when you compare it with the current partnership of Laurent Koscielny and Per Mertesacker, statistically it's that partnership that's the most successful. They're unbeaten in 6 outings together, and in the last 2 games in particular I think they've combined really well at the heart of Arsenal's defence. It's no surprise to see impressive data when it comes to the physical side of captain Thomas Vermaelen's game. The blocks and the tackling statistics are really impressive. I don't think the Belgian's perhaps enjoyed his best season in a Gunners shirt, but you can never question his wholehearted commitment to the team. Now, when it comes to Per Mertesacker, with his obvious physical presence, aerially, it's no surprise that he dominates. But also, it's interesting to note that he doesn't give away very many free kicks, and I think that's a really big positive in his favour. When you look at Laurent Koscielny, I don't think he really excels in one particular area, but he's consistent in all facets of his game, and I think that's really important to have at the heart of Arsenal's defence. These figures don't tell you everything, of course, but it's clear that the manager has a very difficult decision to make with 3 evenly matched centre-backs. If, though, he can get the balance right in these remaining 9 matches, it could be the difference between qualifying for the Champions League and failing to do so. The midfield engine room is the heartbeat of any successful side, and it's an area that Arsenal have been traditionally dominant in. Currently, there are 4 men trying to occupy those 2 all-important positions in the centre of the park. But what do each of them offer the side? It's fair to say that all 4 of Arsenal's main midfielders are natural ball players, but in the absence of a specialist defensive midfielder and with concerns about the fragility behind them, they've all had to concentrate a little bit harder on their off-the-ball work this season. Here you can see that Mikel Arteta is the key cog in the wheel, and after reinventing his game somewhat this season, I think he's proven to be particularly adept at reading the game, making lots of interceptions. I also feel he's become nice and combative in the centre of the park. Perhaps the most surprising stats show that Aaron Ramsey and Jack Wilshere are actually the midfield's best tacklers. I think both players will always be naturally looking to go forward at every single opportunity, but these figures prove that they know what to do when they don't have the ball as well. One disappointment is the fact that Arsenal's midfield quartet have managed just 18 shots on target in the entire season so far. When you also consider that neither Abou Diaby, Jack Wilshere or Aaron Ramsey have scored a Premier League goal in the entire campaign, that's also a major surprise. While it's great that so much effort is being put into their defensive work, I do feel that in this all-important run-in, the midfielders just need to contribute a little bit more for Arsenal going forward. Goals have flowed pretty easily for the Gunners this season, with plenty being shared out among the team's chief attacking talents. But who's providing what in the Arsenal attack? These figures suggest that Lukas Podolski is the most effective player from wide positions, selecting and delivering his crosses with more accuracy than anybody else. His goals per minute ratio is also pretty impressive. To be honest, none of these stats are hugely surprising. Santi Cazorla is the most creative, Theo Walcott the most destructive, and Olivier Giroud gets himself into more goal-scoring positions than anybody else. The absence of a 20-plus goal scorer in the Premier League hasn't helped the Gunners this season, but the front 4 remain Arsenal's biggest strength. In fact, with 9 assists each, Lukas Podolski and Theo Walcott are joint second in the entire Premier League standings, alongside Wayne Rooney and Steven Gerrard when it comes to assists, and just 1 behind the top goal maker so far this season, Juan Mata, who's on 10. Statistics will only ever tell half of the story, but hopefully this has given you some idea of what certain players are providing the team. Now that the finishing line is in sight, the team needs to concentrate hard on defence, as they have done in recent games, while not making too many sacrifices going forward. It's close, there's all to play for. Let's hope the Gunners can end the season with a bang.